Bout number 1 on the card tonight, proudly brought to you by Monaghan Signs. This bout will be contested over 3 3-minute rounds, C-Class MMA rules. Please help me welcome, first of all, fighting out of the red corner. By day, he works as an insurance customer service officer. Ladies and gentlemen, please make some noise for Craig Mallett.
And then at the end of it, they're matched up and then they have a fight.
It definitely
make some noise.
Quite an interesting show tonight. Seeing these people coming in with their first fight.
So we've got Craig Mallett walking out now. He's 43. He's had a little bit of boxing experience.
Craig tells us that he's actually had one amateur boxing bout many years ago, so hopefully he can draw on a bit of that experience here tonight and help calm the nerves. And we see in Craig's corner there, Simon Koff is his head corner man, obviously a very experienced mixed martial artist himself, a very good corner man. He's actually been in my corner in the UFC, so he's definitely been out there, experienced a lot, and I'm sure he can bring a lot to the corner here tonight.
Definitely. Definitely got some skills, and he's been around for many years. So he's the head coach of the red corner.
Yeah. And I'm sure under Simon's guidance, these guys, what they will have done is, although it's their first fight, they will have definitely been pressure tested, and they'll definitely understand the psychology involved in having their first fight. So, they've got some great cornermen there around them at Gamebred Academy, and I'm sure it's going to serve them well here in their first fight.
Craig Mallett, ladies and gentlemen.
Pretty calm.
And introducing his opponent, fighting out of the blue corner. Weighing in at 70.2 kilograms. By day, he's a trucker. Ladies and gentlemen, Eddie Morrison.
Okay, so Eddie Morrison. What happened is they had a late pull-out due to injury. So it looked like Craig wasn't going to be able to fight, but Eddie's taken this fight on 3 days' notice. Okay, so he trains at the Gamebred Academy, and he's stepped up to the plate. He's got a couple of years' experience off and on.
Yeah, it's obviously a big ask for Eddie, stepping up here at late notice. It's a really courageous act, stepping up for this fight. I think it will be his first MMA fight, but like you said, Joel, he's got a couple of years of training behind him. He's actually trained fairly extensively in Krav Maga, which is Israeli martial art, a self-defense system. So he'll probably have a bit of a different look to what his opponent might be used to.
Yeah, let's just hope he keeps those eye pokes and karate chops to the throat out of this.
Yeah, we'll have no groin strikes here tonight, hopefully.
Yeah, basically all the good stuff in Krav Maga is banned.
Yeah, so we'll see what he can take out of his existing skill set. He has done a decent amount of boxing there at Gamebred Academy. So, it's going to be a great match, this one. I think it's hopefully fairly evenly matched. The only thing that I will say, with Eddie coming in only 3 days' notice, will we see a bit of a difference in the fitness levels? We've got Craig here, who's had his 6 months training under his belt. He knew this fight was coming. Eddie, quite the opposite. He's had 3 days' notice. Will we see his cardio be affected in the later rounds?
Yeah, cardio definitely playing a factor in this one. So there is not really much you can do on 3 days' notice.
Yeah, that's right. And as we both know, Joel, that cardio, especially in people's early fights, we've both seen it both the amateur guys we've coached.
Well, it's exciting to get this underway.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, bout number 1, proudly brought to you by Monaghan Signs. This bout will be contested over 3 3-minute rounds, lightweight division. Final instructions being given out by your referee, the Reverend Thomas Churchill.
Just an important little note here. So the captain, the head coach of the blue team, someone that we've both trained with extensively, Ryan Dunstan.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go.
Ryan
Wimp to
Dunstan,
Warrior.
He's actually my MMA coach. Yours also, or one of your mentors, and he'll bring a lot to the table here in Eddie's corner. You see Eddie just get caught with a bit of a jab there early. Oh, Eddie seems to have rocked Craig a little there.
He's going to need to keep his hands up.
So we see Craig pushing Eddie into the cage here, looking for some dirty boxing in the clinch.
Always that 30 seconds to a minute adrenaline dump.
Yeah, absolutely. The adrenaline dump will be hitting about now, and that's when we see the breathing really come into play. It's usually after the initial clinch where we'll see how much of a gas tank they have.
Right about now, Craig and Eddie are realising they're in a fight.
Yeah, absolutely. Nice short right hand landed there by Eddie. And we're back in the clinch, and the clinch is definitely the most exhausting range of an MMA fight. So this is really going to be testing the guys' cardio, testing their will already.
Hats off to both these guys. They're both 43.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't see too many 43-year-olds that are willingly going to get in here. We're starting to see Craig look like he's breathing fairly heavily, and I think that adrenaline dump that we spoke of might be hitting Craig a little now. And this is maybe where the Krav Maga experience of Eddie might be paying off, because he's been in these sort of tense situations before.
I'd be concerned. I've been looking for that uppercut if Craig keeps dropping his head like that when he's coming in.
Yeah,
Eddie might
absolutely
just fire that rear hand uppercut.
Ooh, nice. We've seen some solid shots already landed by both guys, and they both seem to have taken them fairly well.
$60 seconds left in round number 1.
They're just feeling each other out now. That's the first kick thrown.
One thing that I am impressed by here, Joel, for their first fight is that they do seem to be pacing themselves a little bit. They're both sort of thinking of the next round a little, moving around, breathing. Oftentimes you don't see that in some people's first amateur fights, so they're doing well, both guys.
Well, you know what they say, if you're an old man in a young man's profession, so.
That's right. These 43-year-olds aren't here to play games.
Ooh, some hard knees to the body.
Final seconds, round number 1.
Nice. Eddie finishing strong here. He's got Craig up against the cage, and that was a nice strong finish by Eddie.
Round 1.
All right. And what do you think, Craig looking a little bit tired, what do you think, Joel, that Simon Clough would be saying in Craig's corner right now?
Well, the first thing to be saying, take some breathe, take some breaths. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, what I think he needs to do is he needs to keep his hands up. And he needs to establish that range.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Eddie in that round was able to dictate range a little bit. Both guys landed a few shots on the outside, but it seemed to be Eddie controlling shots once they were inside in the clinch there. I agree, Joel. I think Craig needs to take a bit more notice of the range there, either be moving away outside of range, or perhaps even look to take down himself as Eddie enters.
I'm not sure if the takedown is in the game plan, but he's definitely he's looking for that take. He's looking for that clinch.
Absolutely.
I was expecting him to open up with a little bit more hands. Maybe the dust has settled now, and he might just start working that, establishing that jab.
Yeah. Usually second round, those nerves have kind of settled out. The adrenaline dump's gone.
2.
So we should see a little bit more of what these guys planned on doing in this round, rather than what the adrenaline's causing them to do. Whoa, nice right hand there by Eddie.
He's definitely looking to counterpunch Craig. He's waiting. not a bad idea throwing those kicks.
Yeah, we see Craig
Oh,
land a couple of heavy shots there, but now he's come into the clinch.
knees to the leg against the cage.
Nice. Eddie really is controlling the range and the pace here in the clinch, and I think it's definitely not the spot where Craig would want to be long term in this fight.
He doesn't want to have both butt cheeks on the cage. He's got to pop. Got to pop his hips and turn.
Yeah. And for the people that have never sort of had an MMA fight or been involved in much clinch work, they wouldn't really understand, but this is a really draining position, isn't it, Joel?
Definitely. There's so many factors are going into this cage control position. The cage is 100% a tool.
Absolutely, and it can, depending on how good you are at using it, the cage can either be your best friend or your worst enemy.
Yeah. Craig's very flat-footed. He's liking that jab. I think he needs to double up and get off his heels, up on the balls of his feet.
Yeah, we're really seeing Craig slow down a little bit now. Eddie appears to be maintaining his pace. Some nice body shots there by Eddie.
Double underhooks.
Can Craig use this double underhook position? Yeah. Craig really looks to be slowing down now. Eddie's maintaining his pace.
Eddie's taking a couple of deep breaths then.
Yeah. Could the tide
could be
turning?
going to a third, yeah.
Got 45 seconds here to go in the second round.
Got to keep that hand up. He's got to keep his hands up. Those jabs are going to come straight back to the face.
Nice. Yeah, Craig really needs to get those hands up. He looks like he's really starting to gas out, and the tide appears to be turning. Only 20 seconds to go. If he can last out this second round, he can hopefully regroup for the third. But Eddie's pace is definitely, pretty impressive. He's maintaining a decent pace here, and Craig sort of seems to be fading a little.
There's those uppercuts.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh.
End of round 2.
All right.
Big thanks to Morrison Signs, our local sign writers, specialising in vehicle and boat wrapping.
Yeah,
so
we see here over in the corner of Eddie, his corner man Ryan Dunstan's just come in there. He's also got Chris Birch, quite a good kickboxer and MMA fighter in his day, giving him some advice. What do you think they'd be telling Eddie there?
Well, I'll be telling Eddie to keep doing what you're doing. Look for the uppercut, maybe from the takedown. If he's standing so high again, I'll be ripping that down for the double.
Yep, absolutely.
They've had 2 rounds of kickboxing. I'll be looking to change the level now.
Yeah.
Let's see what we can do on the ground.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's really sound advice. I think, like you said, I've had 2 rounds of striking. No guys seem to have a huge advantage, although Eddie sort of turned the tide a little bit there. But I think if one guy could take it to the ground and get some real dominant position here, he could really take the fight home.
Either fighter, really. Craig.
I'd be especially looking for it if I was Craig, or giving Craig some cornering advice, because I think he's at a point now where he needs to turn the tide of this fight.
Third and final round.
Nice outside thigh kick by Eddie.
Yeah, we're really seeing Craig's hands dropping dangerously low here in the stand-up, so we'll see if Eddie can make the most of that. Lands a nice solid jab there coming in.
Eddie's definitely come out looking a bit more confident.
Yeah, and although Eddie did take this fight on only 3 days' notice, nice shot there by Eddie. He has been training, quite consistently for the last 2 years at Gamebred Academy here in Brisbane, and that's obviously stood him in good stead for this fight. All right, so now we see Craig's got some decent control position against the cage.
Here we go. There's that takedown.
He's looking for a single leg, but Eddie fights it off very well.
They're talking to each other in the cage here.
Yeah. I see a bit of smack talk, but I think they were actually checking if each other was okay.
Yeah,
so
gentlemen.
Gentlemen of the sport. Oh. Nice shot by Eddie, short right.
He's firing
Craig
back.
returns with one of his own.
Craig's tough.
Craig definitely is tough. He's showing some real toughness, and what's more, I think he's showing some mental toughness because we can see that he's tired, but he's really hanging in there.
Exactly.
Oh, Eddie's landing some good shots here. Craig's got to fight back out of there, and he pushes away. Nice. Again, an overhand right there by Eddie. He's finding a home for that overhand right.
He needs to follow that jab up with something. Yeah. Maybe put 2s and 3s.
Nice.
Oh, here we
Here
go.
we go. Nice takedown attempt by Craig. He's got to finish and drive on that.
Oh, the sprawl.
Oh, just not enough drive, but it was a really nice, well-timed entry. We're in the last minute of the last round here. I think Craig, considering how good that was, I think Craig should look again maybe for another takedown attempt and just finish.
It was
with
a good level
drive.
change.
Yeah, it really was. Well-timed level change. Just didn't have enough drive to finish it. Nice, and we see Eddie unloading again here in the clinch. Some knees, some short shots.
With 20 seconds left. Yeah. Now's the time. You got something left. Empty it now.
Final seconds, here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
We really see Eddie putting the pressure on now. Well done. Well done to both guys here.
Yeah.
We're off to the judges.
Both of these fighters can hold their heads up high. 43-year-old men.
Yeah, I hope I'm fighting that hard at 43.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for bout number 1. Here at Wimp to Warrior, this bout proudly brought to you by Monaghan Signs. After 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecard. Judges scored about 30-27, 30-27, and 29-28 for a unanimous decision to the blue corner, Eddie Morrison.
We see Eddie Morrison here taking home a well-deserved win. He did seem to show a little bit more control in the clinch there and some more telling shots, but both guys should definitely be very proud of their performance.
Yeah, I guess maybe the other truckies will give him a bit